So in this video we will go over text views, how we can add them, and some modifiers which will help us edit, style, resize, and a couple of those things. So stick to the end, it is going to be a very interesting video. So in this video we will cover text views, changing the size and weight of text, design, font designs, which is also called font style or type, changing the colors, background and foreground colors, multi-line alignments, and then we have a baseline offset, and then we also have underline and strike through, how we can do that. Kerning and tracking, it is just adding spaces between the characters. Truncation mode and line limiters is used when we want to truncate a string. So yeah, so let's get started. So first things first, how we can add a text view and edit. So how to add a text view? It is very simple and straightforward. So what we'll do is text and enter whatever we want to, similar to what we do in Java. Hello world, right? Okay, as you can see, it is previewed here on our right side on the phone screen. Another way to add a text view is if I go to this plus sign here and then make sure I'm on this views first section, and then I hit text, and this is what we wanted to select, right? Text view. It is a view that displays one or more lines of read-only text. So this will be a read-only, and in order to bring it here, all you need to do is just drag it and put it underneath, or wherever you want to. You can put it above. Here we will just put it underneath. So this is a placeholder, and once here you can see it's added down there. So something to notice, this is a V stack, so everything will be one over the other. If we switch it to horizontal stack, they will be placed next to each other. So that is all about adding a text view, and you can edit it to whatever you want, right? So that is pretty straightforward. So now we will go over size and weight of a text view. So how we can increase, decrease, or add a weight to our text. For example, we want to increase the size, right? What we can do is dot font parentheses and then dot system and then parentheses again and then size, and then we can enter whatever value we want. For example, I want to make it to the value 30, right? So yeah, here it will become 30. Another thing is you can add a decimal value as well. So 30.7, it will change it a little bit. As you can see, it changed a little. So you can add it manually like this, but on the other hand, Swift UI has some pre-saved, I would say, sizes. For example, you want this to set as a title, right? So you hit dot and then you can choose from all these options, right? For example, you want to make it a title, right? You can hit that and it has a particular size to it, the title. And for example, if you want to make it title 2, right? So you can add, so it becomes a little smaller. Similarly, there are a lot of options underneath. You can make it a body, call out, caption, caption 2, footnote, headline, large title. So it will make it a little big. I would suggest using this, but you feel free to use the values manually. Another thing is you can also change the values here. As you can see, font, and then you have these options right here. But for example, you want to do it manually. To do that, you would always have to take the other route, which was like font dot parentheses dot system dot size and then whatever value you want to give it, right? Yeah, so that is how you add change the size. Now for example, we want to add some weight to it, right? We can do that easily by let's make some changes here. Font weight, you can choose this option in order for you to add some weight to it, and for example, you want to, so similar to font size, we again have some preset values. For example, you want to make it black, so it doesn't mean that it will change the color to black. It means it has a certain weight to it. These are just names, so it will make it very thick, right? Yeah, and then you can choose from bold is something else. Yeah, a little skinny text, right? Bold, and then or you can also make it light, right? Yeah, it becomes light. This looks good. So same way, you also can change this here on the side, and you can see all the options. Feel free to choose whatever you want, and I believe that's it about. So up next is font design, which is also called type, font type. So now if we want to change the type of font we have here in Swift UI, we can do so by doing dot font design, right? So as before, Swift UI has a couple of preset settings as default, monospaced, rounded, sans serif, and yeah, so you can change it to rounded, and as you can see, it changed a little bit. And if we want to say monospaced, yeah, so our text is different. We can add our custom font, but that is not for this video. That is a little advanced topic. Now we will just focus on what we have in our Swift UI. So font design, we have a couple of options, and same thing is you can also go here and then see what values you have: default, sans serif, rounded, and monospaced. So you can choose from these 4 options for now. So another thing is, if we want to make our font italic, that is also available to us. We can just search for italic, and it will make our font italic. Now we will look at font colors, how we can change the background and color of the text, which is foreground. Now if we want to change the foreground or background color, we can also do that by typing dot, and first let's do background, and then color. So it gives us a couple of options, but for this example we'll just hit color and then parentheses dot. Now we also have some pre-filled values, colors, like you can use any of these. Let's try this cayenne. Oh, okay, it gives it a sky blue kind of color. Okay, now for example we want to change the color of the actual text, right? We can do that by typing dot foreground color, and then again we have a lot of options. So we can say color, and then okay, I can say blue, right? So it changes to blue. Let's choose something else, red maybe. Yeah, okay. Another way to change color, for example you have a requirement and okay, the option is not available to us, but we can do that. There's a trick. So for example you want a custom color, right? You don't want these pre-filled ones. You can do so by color and then parentheses and then choose this option, red, green, blue. Yeah, choose this option here. You can type in, for example, 1, and then here 0.6, sorry, 0.8, and as you can see it gave it a custom color. And another thing is foreground color. Here if you take a look, color, it changes to custom, right? And now if you click on it, custom, you can choose any of the colors. It will change it to whatever you set it to, darker. Another thing is if you have, you can also change properties here the way you want. You can mention a hex value, you can give it a hex value, and then it will change it to whatever you want it to. So that's another cool tip for changing color, and it can be applied to background as well. Control C, actually control, and then let me comment this out, and then you can paste. Oh, my apologies, like that, and it should actually, yeah, so change the background. So this property can be applied to background or foreground, anything. And I believe that is it for colors. So now we will go over some commonly used modifiers, like underlining, strike through, line limit, and frame, and then we have truncation mode. So now we have a scenario where we want to either underline or strike through a particular portion of our text, right? And how can we do that? It is very easy. For example, I want to underline this piece here, and all I have to do is I will have to first separate these, text. So these two are separated now, and now oh yeah, these two. Oh, sorry, my apologies. I need quote here, a double quote there. Now, how can I join these two? So this looks a little crooked, and how can I join these two? All I have to do is I can put this plus sign, and it again joins the sentence, right? Now I want to, so we wanted to underline this portion, so all we have to do is dot and underline. Another thing I forgot to show you guys is we can also use this field. We can just click on this and say search for underline, right? And we can just click here, and oh no, we don't want to underline the whole thing. We just wanted to underline this portion, so it underlines it, right? Now, for example, we want to change the color of this underline. How can we do that? Very easy. We can just say color, and then whichever color we want, we can change it to what? Gray. Let's do green. It will show. Yeah. So it changes. Now for example, we want to strike through this portion as well. We can just simply dot and strike through, and now it will strike through it, right? Easy as that. And similarly, we can also change the color dot, we can say what, red, right? Usually we have red color for the strike through, so there you go. It's now right crossed out. Okay, so now we want to align this text, right? We can center align it, left align it, right? By default it is left aligned. So for example, we want to align this whole paragraph. We'll just go outside our V stack because we want to apply it to the whole thing, right? Dot multi-line text alignment and hit dot, and then we can choose any. We can choose center, so it will be center aligned, and if we choose trailing, trailing, it becomes right aligned, right? So yeah, that's it for alignment. And then we have tracking and kerning. They're one and the same thing, but I would suggest choosing tracking. So this is fixed, and for example, we have a situation where we want to add space, right? Increase the space between each character. We can easily do that by dot tracking, and the cool thing is you can add a positive and a negative value. For example, 2, it will increase. Let me delete this, that's a little confusing. Yeah, so it increases the space, and then you can choose anything, it will increase the space even more, right? And if you use a negative value, it will bring them like cramp, right? And reduce the space. So -1, it will make them go even closer. No value, you should have at least some value. So this is the normal text, and then you can increase it or decrease it, right, as you wish. So that is kerning and tracking. So okay, another thing is truncation mode and line limiter. Okay, now what is that? Okay, for example, I don't know where this will be used. I've never used it. Yeah, but I would say line limiter would probably be used in a text field. So let's go over line limiter first. Line limit. Now, for example, we want to limit it to one line, right? Or two lines. Let's say two. If we do that, it will remove the anything we have after like two lines. So our text will be only two lines, no matter how big or small the text is, right? If we change it to 3, we will see the whole text. Okay, now truncation mode. It works similar to this with just a different name. Dot truncation mode, and now mode. Now you have to give it. It kind of works like pixels. If I say 50, right? Oh, what the fuck? No, I cannot use that. Truncation mode. Where the fuck did truncation go, man? Truncation mode. Need to control. Okay, venture truncation mode. Okay, so for example, we want to use the truncation mode, right? We can go to truncation mode. It is usually applied to the view, right? That's a truncation mode for line of text that is too long to fit the available space. So for example, we have a frame and we have a frame. Okay, we can add a frame here. Dot frame, and then we have to give it a width. My apologies. Width. We can say what? 100, right? And then height. We can say what? 200. Okay, that's just an example. Okay, so let me. I made this look crooked. Let me do this 300. Sorry, 300, and then 200. Okay, now we have this frame. We want our text to not go out of this boundary 300 by 200, right? And then we can use truncation mode, and then we can use what do we want to truncate, head, middle, or tail, right? If we choose to truncate trail, trail. Okay, for that we will first have to reduce this to show actually, because this now fits properly our content. How about let me change it to 50, right? So the width is 50 and then height is 200, right? So as you can see, it truncated whatever it could not fit at the bottom. My apologies, not at the bottom, at the end. Thanks for making it to the end, guys. I hope you learned something new today. If you did, please like, share and subscribe. It helps me make more content